have reality to be focused on me. I'm on TV. I am a video.
Well, then you have the Star Wars side of everything that they talked about. There's a bunch of new shows. They're talking about this brand new... The only movie that they said is happening is Rogue Squadron. Now, I'm curious because they made a big deal out of, guess what? We got Patty Jenkins. Everybody loves her. There's nothing that can happen in the next couple of days that will change your mind about Patty Jenkins, right? Nothing at all. Starting with W and ending with 4. You know what I mean? Because Disney has, every time they get shot, or not Disney in particular, Lucasfilm in particular, every time they feel there's a sense of, oh no, they're going to hate, the fans are going to hate this, they pull the plug.
Yeah.
Like, they did that with the writers of Game of Thrones. They were like, yeah, we're going to give, they did such a great job with this show, until they didn't. And then we're pulling the plug. They were talking about how Rian Johnson was going to make a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
He was going to make a whole new trilogy, and too many people were divided on whether or not they liked The Last Jedi. So now you just didn't hear anything about it when this whole thing came out. It was almost as if, hey, who knows what he's doing?
Yeah.
I'm hoping for a Knives Out 2.
Yeah.
2 knives. Like, 2 knives, 2 out. Like,
2 knives tonight to your throat.
That is, yeah. So something like that would be cool. But yeah, but then there's stuff like The Acolytes that I've never even heard of, that I was like, I guess it's a series that's going to be about the Sith, like, or a specific person.
Maybe, because like for years, you've heard chatter about them wanting to do a more Sith-focused story from the perspective of the Sith. Because I heard that they were like interested in developing either a TV show or like an animated movie, which was going to be called Book of the Sith.
Book of the Sith, okay.
Yeah, which you basically get to follow like these big milestone characters that appeared in the Star Wars lore. So you would like get a story with Darth Bane, who created the Rule of Two, and you would see like Darth Annihilus or Darth Revan or whatever. But yeah, it could be interesting. We don't exactly know what it is that they're doing, but hopefully this will be like The Mandalorian, a new perspective in the entire Star Wars universe.
Exactly, because what they did, they pulled off a magic trick with The Mandalorian, that they managed to get everybody who hates Star Wars, and everybody who fully loves Star Wars, and everybody who just plain I nothing Star Wars to enjoy this show.
Yeah.
Which is great. They united a lot of fan bases that were completely like, screw this thing. They ruined my childhood with The Last Jedi or whatever.
Yeah.
And then suddenly to make reference to everything, even the stuff that we as a collective thought, this was terrible, but we're actually doing we're making canon Life Day. Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, what? Yeah. And bringing in, like, not for the first time, but bringing in an animated character into the live action was just, it's fun to see. And granted, I didn't go through the journey of loving Ahsoka the way that most people who watch from Clone Wars up. I didn't watch Clone Wars. I was like, meh. I watched Rebels, and then she started poking her head in that, and I was like, well, there's something here. And then now that she's in this, there's a part of me that's like, I kind of want to, maybe I should go back and see how cool how you go from hating her to loving her. Because like, I've heard that like some people just watched that episode of The Mandalorian and just cried. It was like, shit, it's so beautiful. But yeah,
they probably cried a lot more during the latest season finale.
Oh yes, I can imagine. Yeah. So there's that. There's there's a bunch of stuff.
No, because we're getting a sort of continuation of the Clone Wars series with the Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch.
Yeah,
I heard about that. Yeah. I'll be honest, on my side, I'm like, because I didn't watch Clone Wars, I have no attachment to the Bad Batch right now at all. And I, like that's one of those things where it's like, either I go back for Ahsoka's sake.
Yeah.
Ahsoka's sake. And check out a few episodes. I feel like I just can't get into watching the whole show, because that's like 7 seasons And it's probably like if somebody gave me like a watch order, like you want to see these 2 episodes, you want to see the, you know, then maybe I'll just
you can find it easily.
I'll just watch a few here and there.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
But it's very interesting because the way they seem to like focus the Bad Batch series is basically that these clones.
I'm sorry, I thought you said the Bad Batch shit. I was like, what?
Oh, that's the other team.
Yeah, exactly.
The clones that didn't get drafted.
They crazy, man. They mess you up.
Yeah, but basically what they seem to be doing is like, yeah, like these clones with the specific like modifications, they don't actually have those inhibitor chips in their head. So, which makes it probably easier for them to like look at the entire Order 66 thing and go like, what the f***?
What's going on this side? Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it's probably going to show a very interesting side that we haven't seen, but in the trailer, you can actually see the people applauding the clone troopers. And this is like the early days of the Empire, when probably everyone thought, yeah, the Empire, it's great! We're all going to live La Vida Loca, or whatever.
Nice Ricky Martin drop.
I was born in the 90s.
Living the Vida Yoda, maybe. Yeah, so there's that. What I'm trying to think. There was one thing that I was like really looking forward to in the Star Wars stuff that was like a brand new show that just dropped. They had this one called Star Wars Visions.
Yeah.
Where it was the entire premise was like they're just gonna do Legends, but anime style, and they're just gonna go, hey, let's just tell different stories in this universe where you could just watch anime like versions of them kicking butt and stuff. And I'm like, that could be cool.
That could be really interesting, especially since you kind of disregarded the entire extended universe. You have so many stories to borrow from.
Exactly. And that's the thing that's interesting because they talk about how they're bringing back Thrawn, which in turn means that like Ezra's probably out there, and things like that. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. I honestly can't think of any other thing in the Star Wars side that I was really super excited about beyond what they've already, beyond what we've talked about, but I'm sure there's something that was like, oh, that was cool, but I can't remember it now. There was so much stuff they talked about. So
yeah,
it's like,
it was like nerd overload.
It really was. And it was like, I felt so like, so exhausted from like Christmas and everything. And I was like, am I supposed to make a video about this now? Like I should, but I don't know what
I've got a life, people.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
It's hard to adult and nerd at the same time, all right?
Yeah. It costs a lot of money to nerd out.
Yeah.